At the beginning of this week's parasha, we encounter two conversations which took place between Yaakov Avinu and Yosef. The very first conversation was Yaakov's request of Yosef to make sure that he be buried in Eretz Yisrael, that he be buried in the Marat HaMachpelah where his ancestors were buried. And the second conversation, which took place sometime later, Vayhi Acharei Advarim Ha'ela, is the conversation in which Ephraim and Menashe are elevated to the status of Shvatim. Ephraim u'Menashe Ruvain v'Shimon Yuli. What did Yosef do to merit such a great reward for his sons? The answer, explained Rav Shalom Shvadron, may be found in a pasuk, which is a bit of a non sequitur, seems not to fit within this second conversation, the description that Yaakov Avinu gives of the burial of Rachel, of Yosef's mother. Vani bevoi mi Padan, Yaakov recalls that on the way back from Lavan's house, that Rachel Imenu died along the way, and therefore, Vekbera Sham Baderech Efrat, she was buried along the road to Efrat, Beit Lachem, which was Beit Lechem. What does that have to do with elevating Menashe and Ephraim? How does that fit into our parasha? Rav Shvadron says beautifully, he explains that Yaakov Avinu was explaining to Yosef what happened that merited this great reward of Menashe and Ephraim. He explains that Reuven lost his right to be a firstborn when he moved the bed of Yaakov Avinu, an action that was inappropriate and is also described later in our parsha when giving the bracha to Reuven, Pachaz Kamayim, he's described. He lost the Bechorah on something he did that was inappropriate. Yosef, however, earned the Bechorah and received something special, because when Rachel Imenu passed away and Yaakov Avinu buried her along the road, Yosef didn't object. Even though it was clear to everyone that a burial place was so very important, so important that the first conversation which took place between Yaakov and Yosef was just that Yaakov wanted to be buried in the Marat HaMachpelah. Yosef's mother did not merit that. She was buried along the road. Yosef never objected. And because of the fact that he did not object, therefore, Menashe and Ephraim were the reward. They were elevated to assume a position that was special as one of the 12 Shvatim, something that Yosef did in his way back from Lavan's home.